Hey guys, welcome to the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast. I'm your host, Pink, the Ice Cream Man, checking in live and direct from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Man, right now I'm about to bring y'all the widow of Charlie Kirk. His wife is about to address the nation. So you guys come on in the chat room. Let's have a dialogue about the situation. Let's check it out. Let's get right to it.
Good evening. My name is Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon. I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family these past 2 days. And I want to
Welcome
thank
to the Neighborhood
Turning Point
Superstar
USA
Podcast. Please like, subscribe.
COO, Justin Stripe, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, for all their work in these terrible days to be the stability for our family and for the wider Turning Point USA family as well. My heart is with every one of my husband's employees who lost a friend and a mentor. I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show, who helped him broadcast from this studio, this chair. Every day he loved what he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their love for Charlie here in Phoenix, across America, and worldwide. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well, bringing him home. You both are tremendous. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing. You supported him so well, as did he for you. 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast.
He will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Charlie loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children. And he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day. Every day. He's such a good man. He still is a good man. He was the perfect father. He was the perfect husband. Charlie always believed that God's design for marriage and the family was absolutely amazing, and it is. It is, and it was the greatest joy of his life. And over, he would tell all these young people to come and find their future spouse, become wives and husbands and parents. And the reason why is because he wanted you all to experience what he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family. It's beautiful. Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love. I would never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. He's so incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love from my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done.
You need safe and reliable power.
Shit.
Public Power channels the electricity TVA generates to your local power provider, which delivers it right to you, right to when you need it most. Public Power. It works for you.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew. He could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. He thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15.
Welcome back, Timothy.
Ready to go that extra mile even when you didn't.
Welcome back, bro.
He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better. He never gave up. And I love knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender. So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. Ever. Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn. He would call all of you to be people of action who earn the future America deserves. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can.
I can get some. I had rolled one up earlier.
And it will only grow stronger when
Want
you
to roll
do
one
it.
up?
There isn't a chapter. You can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room, every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com. If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December. Sign up right now for that because we would love to see you. I would love to see you. Charlie would. He'll be there. He'll be there in spirit. Bring your kids, bring your family. But most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one. A Bible-believing church.
We got 21 people in the chat room. I mean, they're checking out the Neighborhood Superstar podcast. Hit that like button, y'all.
Is palpable. Charlie loved his Savior with all of his heart, and he wanted every one of you to know him too. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved. Hear me when I say this, nobody is ever too young to know the gospel. Nobody. Nobody is ever too young to get involved with saving this beautiful country, this country my husband loved and still loves. And nobody is ever too old either. There's no age limit. I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us. I don't remember the last time I slept. I couldn't sleep last night. And Charlie, baby, promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen. I promise. Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strives to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. When I got home last night, Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I missed you, baby. She goes, where's Daddy? What are you telling 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. My goodness, am I so humbled to witness Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now, doing what you always want to do, baby. Making heaven crowded, right? That's what it's all about. Making heaven crowded. I can't wait to see you again one day. Thank you all again who loved my husband, who supported him, who wrote him an email every single day during his radio show. He read all of them. All of them. God bless you all. And may God bless America.
All right, guys. We heard from Mrs. Kirk. I agree with you, Timothy. She is a strong woman. For a woman to lose her husband
and to be in the spotlight,
and to be, I don't know if she was there or not, but I'm sure she was. They said the kids was there. But I agree with you, man. That is a strong woman. Next, I'm going to play his interview on one of my new shows. I found out it's called Jubilee. For the ones who don't know about it, it's a round, I wouldn't say a round table. It's more of a circle that they sitting in while the person that's there debating, they rush up and try to ask the person whoever they debating a question. Well, he was on that show. I'm going to play that for you guys right quick so we can have some dialogue on that.
sad situation. I couldn't be a debater. People would piss me off.
Now, I must admit, I must admit, y'all, I was watching some of his videos. As I was telling you guys, I'm the type of person where I don't want to create an opinion based off what someone else said. So I went back and I watched a couple of his videos, and I have to say, the man said some things that I personally didn't like. I personally had some ill will towards some of the things that he said. One in particular was when he said he felt like civil rights was a bad thing for America. My opinion, that's I just can't stand when someone says something like that. Civil rights was a bad thing for America. Now, I had conversations with my wife and stuff like that, and she was talking about, well, he was meaning transgenders and stuff. Well, when you're born, at least in America, the country I fought for, when you're born, you're granted civil liberty. Now, my wife was trying to tell me, though, he was talking about transgenders and stuff like that. In my opinion, when you hear civil rights, we think the 60s. We think black people. At least I do. So when I hear a person says that civil rights was a bad thing for America, personally, I wouldn't want anything to do with that person, in my personal opinion. Now, I did mention earlier today that I'm a military veteran. I was in the Navy. I fought for certain things where people can speak their mind, but when you speak your mind, you have to be prepared for the results. And I'll be damned, he paid for his life. He paid his debt with his life. That's what he did. Appreciate you, Pokey Trainer Michael, for thanking me for my service. Thank you very much, bro. That means a lot. Believe it or not, I did it for you. I did it for people like you, man. So I got it all set up now. Jubilee. Conversation with Charlie Kirk. Let's get down to it, y'all.
Oliver, I think that perceived your evidence that college is a scam, my friend.
So what do you say in some cases women with IUDs are murderers?
Of course not, I'm not murdered.
So what's the difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
That's actually the best one. What do you mean?
It's not about the cell. It's not about no, I'm speaking. 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 No, I'm speaking.
Hello, everyone. I am Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, and I am surrounded by 20 woke colleagues.
Oh, okay, Mike from Syracuse. Okay, yeah, I remember you, bro.
My first prompt is: abortion is murder and should be illegal.
Now, I'm going to pause this when I'm sitting here with my wife, my significant other. I'm going to pause this when I feel like good points are making. Now, the first question is abortion murder and should it be illegal? My personal opinion on the abortion thing, abortion should be illegal across the board. That's my opinion. Abortion should be illegal across the board. I get sick and tired and pissed off when I hear people say, "Oh, what about incest? What about the mother's life is in jeopardy?" You know what? I've always heard when it comes to bearing children, I always heard that the woman could die by receiving the epidural.
She can paralyze, I heard.
She can get paralyzed and she can die from that shot. That's what I've always heard. So we need to stop with the bull jive about this whole abortion thing. Women telling a woman what she can and what she can't do with her body. My personal opinion, I know a couple of women who had abortions. They was trifling. They lived a trifling lifestyle. They didn't appear to be in any danger from having kids. They didn't want those kids. I knew a woman who had a toothache and was pregnant all in 1 week. And she said, "I got rid of a toothache and a baby this weekend." And I'm supposed to respect a woman's decision? That's what we're talking about, y'all. That's what a lot of these stories are in America is about with this abortion thing. I first thought that Trump abolished the abortion thing. But now we're still fighting for it. So when it comes to I agree with him that abortion is murder. In my personal opinion, when that little bell goes off in that woman's body and says ding, she's pregnant, that's a life inside that woman. No matter if it's a heartbeat yet, that's a baby inside that woman. So I agree with them so far on the abortion thing. We haven't even started the show yet. Let's get back into it.
Okay, hello, what's your name?
Juliana.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Can we
you.
get our terms right first?
Yeah.
Okay, abortion is the forcible ending of the viability of a being in utero, otherwise known as a fetus. We agree that's what abortion is?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, great. And then murder is the intentional taking of life, different than killing or sudden death. So murder would be the intent taking another life. Do we agree with that?
Okay.
Okay, and then we agree that murder in general in society should be illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So yeah, no, I do want to preface that I'm a Catholic. So I think one really important thing that the Bible says is to not judge. And just going back to the topic, I think there's a big difference between, cells in utero than a living, breathing, existing being. And while I do believe it's murder, and that's just my personal belief, right? I don't believe in telling people what to do with their bodies. That's not up to me, and it's not up to us as well as Christians to judge.
Should we prevent murder in society?
For sure, yeah.
It should be illegal.
But I think that it's really different, right? Because, these people aren't.
Sorry, nice to meet you.
On Facebook right here.
Every service at Pep Boys comes with Pep Check, a free car inspection. That's the Pep Boys advantage.
Uh-oh.
Bronze Smart IPL.
Okay, what's your name?
Naima.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, can I just ask, at how many weeks do you think that a fetus is viable?
Well, viability and moral worth are two different things.
No, but I'm asking you, at how many weeks weeks
Well,
do you
at
think
about
a fetus is
20
viable?
weeks, a baby can survive outside of utero.
So it's actually 24 to 26
Well, it's
weeks.
20. The youngest ever in a NICU unit actually happened in San Diego, not far from here, and survived at 20 weeks.
Okay, so under Roe v. Wade, 93% of abortions happened in the first 13 weeks of pregnancy. That's 93% of the abortions happened well before a fetus is technically viable as a form
So
of life.
let's go into viability. So what is it about, let's say, a 6-week baby that has a heartbeat, its own DNA, fingerprint, brain waves, that is less moral worth than an 88-year-old right now with dementia in a home down the street? That person requires assistance, requires help. But why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
Well, what does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
What the
Human.
I'm sorry,
It means little human being.
the smile is very creepy. Okay,
Smiling is creepy.
no, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back to, we're losing track here.
No, but is it what species is the fetus?
The fetus is not a species yet. It's technically classified as a parasite until it is viable.
So
Now I want to talk to you
hold on,
about something very
I can't leave it past that. Are you
I'm
saying
sorry.
you're saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A
Oh,
parasite is defined as something that cannot survive outside of its host. A baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's
Therefore,
extrapolate that.
It is not a living organism.
Are old people with Alzheimer's and dementia that are being assisted every day, are they parasites?
No, they're not parasites. They're human beings who are on the brink of death.
Got it. So my
They are not going to be
my
able to survive.
4-month-old that requires mom's breast milk and requires daily changes and feedings cannot survive without its own. Is my 4-month-old a parasite?
Your baby can breathe on its own. Your baby can drink
We got
water from
53
its
people
mouth.
checking out the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast.
Your baby can
Can it
eat.
hunt? Can it gather? Can it reason?
But that's not what qualifies something as being
Okay,
a
so
living organism. Being
let's
a
get back
living
to
organism
terms.
simply means, can you survive outside of a womb, outside of your host?
Got it. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
Why? Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the
Alive?
rights of something that is not technically a life,
Got it. So what is it something
while
that has,
sacrificing the needs of the human woman who is alive.
got it. So but a mom can survive
Yes.
without the baby in her,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
The baby cannot survive without the mom,
Yes.
but a mom cannot survive without her lungs. So it's not her body, it's in her body. It's not
Yeah,
her
I
DNA,
know.
so it's not her choice. So it's
It actually is directly her DNA.
it's
It is 100%. It's 50% of her
not her
DNA.
DNA. He's gonna win, I'm telling you. This could take a while.
Okay, first of all,
Do we have our terms correct? We agree?
actually no. So first
Okay,
of
got
all, I'd like to refine our terms. I
Got
have 2 points to bring up after that though. So if you define murder as like intentionally like killing a human being, I think that's a very poor way to define murder, because if someone were to like break into my home and point a gun at the heads of me and everybody I love, and I intentionally kill them to prevent them from killing my family, I don't think I murdered them, right? So I would define murder as the unjustified termination of a human life.
You're making a good point. Let me further clarify that. So
That's the kind of kid that shot his ass right there.
Exactly, right?
I can see where you're gonna go with how that has to go with abortion, but we can go down that
Yeah.
journey in a second.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I kind of do want to give you my argument insofar as why I'm pro-choice, why I think it's justified. But first, I
Timothy
think
said
that
for
your
sure
position is
what
quite
you
clear,
said.
right?
Yeah.
Because you're saying that it is murder to kill a
Angry
human being, right, at any point in development, especially when
white
it's supposed
boy,
to.
I guess,
My
is
question to you would be,
right.
well, does this make women with IUDs murderers? Because it is the case that in some scenarios, an IUD will allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but it will prevent its implantation, intentionally killing it.
Well, no, preventing implantation is not necessarily the same thing as terminating a fertilized egg. For example, you take Plan B. Again, it's not the same thing. Preventing the production of progesterone is not the same thing as terminating a being that has been fertilized. You do not know for a fact that the egg has been fertilized. You do not know that. We need an IUD.
Okay, yeah, so preventing fertilization or implantation to the uterine lining is killing a conceived zygote. So what happens? A sperm goes into the egg, right? The egg becomes fertilized, it's a conceived zygote. In some cases, it will prevent the implantation of the conceived zygote, killing the conceived
In
zygote.
some cases, correct.
So would you say in some cases, women with IUDs are murderers?
Of course not. They're not murders. We do not know for a case. That's like saying that.
So what's the difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
Well, so you're asking two separate things. If they knew for certain, to be more clear, that I have a fertilized egg and I'm going to take a drug to prevent that fertilized egg from attaching to their uterine wall, then yes, that is an act of killing or murder, of course.
Okay, so do you think all murderers should go to jail?
Do I think all murderers should go to jail? I mean, on third degree murder. However, no, I don't think women that got abortions or had IUDs should go to jail, because I think that they have been deceived by mass culture and mass propaganda. Secondly, the people who should go to jail are the abortionists, who are the ones that have been putting the abortion pill, the ones that have been doing procedures, the ones that have been going into the third trimester and breaking babies' backs and inserting them with syringes while the babies are crying and suffocating, being born alive, and then being dead on the operating table. That is who should go to jail.
That's right.
I agree with that.
That's actually the best one somebody did. I know.
Listing is even easier with the optional smart list AI feature.
I think the woman should go to jail as well. I think the woman should definitely go to jail.
Well, they better.
At some point in time, you have to have responsibility.
I mean,
Take accountability.
you should go to jail.
Puff, puff, pass, big homie.
Okay, whenever I'm talking about this discussion, I always go to the question of what about in the case of the mother when her life is in danger? Because I'm a big believer. I don't. I'm still iffy on if I think it's or if it's murder or not. But even so, and I don't want to say murder is justified. Guys, wait. Let me just get this one point and then vote me out. Give me 1 second. Say the mother gets pregnant and she knows that if she gives birth, she's gonna die. She has some kind of health complication. Then what do you do in that
Cesarean
case?
section.
I don't know what that
It's a
means.
C-section.
That's so funny.
Fucking bitch.
They go right below the belly button and they deliver the baby.
Oh,
And
I've never even had a child, and I know what a C-section
what woman
is.
don't know? That's womanhood
I
101.
feel like it should be, dumbass.
That's womanhood 101 to know what a cesarean C-section is.
I'm glad they got her out of there quick. He said, "Wow," and you're a woman.
I would say with abortion, I think it's very complicated.
Maybe she
But
may be a woman. You never know, really.
Primarily with your stance of being pro-life, there's no nuance. There's women who are being forced to travel hundreds of miles to access abortion care, even in cases of rape in certain states that they're not giving any sort of allowance for that. And I think a lot of people who are pro-life, they say that they're pro-life, but I feel like they're really pro-birth, because with firearms, the United States has some of the highest firearm deaths out of OECD nations, right? And we can acknowledge that that's for children who are actually living and breathing. So I feel like abortion, well, yeah, it is. I can definitely see your point. I just think that it should be allowed in some circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'm happy to get into the gun violence stuff later, but I want to just say abortion. You can say you see my point. You see the world also where, since we know it's a human life, that it should be illegal since we don't allow murder in our society.
Well, that's where I have an issue, because abortion is not being done willy-nilly. It's like the life of the mother is always.
How many abortions do you think we have every day in America? Just guess.
I'm not sure.
Guess.
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe, I don't know, 1,000?
4,000 a day. So it is kind of willy-nilly. We have 1.6. Sorry.
So you got 4,000 ain't shit bitches aborting babies every day in America. 4,000. Times that by 365. Matter of fact, I would even go as far as saying some of these women are probably even doing this shit on the low, getting home abortions.
I don't know if that. Well, you never know. Some
Think
people,
of the clothes hanger
rich
up.
people can afford that. I don't know about clothes hangers. I don't even do all that anymore. That was 100 years ago, honey. But
This is bananas, man.
what's crazy?
Why is it women? Why is it women are fighting the abortion thing? And my question.
Because they're the ones that want to get rid of a bad. They get talked into not wearing condoms.
No, ain't nobody
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
talked in that way.
Yeah, they are. Trust me, they are. Yes.
No,
All right, I'm not wearing a condom. Next thing you know, what, you're just hoeing around. Period. You can hoe around and
You know-
have 10 abortions in a year. Fuck, why
You know-
not? Right?
I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. I'm gonna tell you why
That's sad.
I'm gonna tell you why these women are fighting against these abortions. Because you can't. Because a woman don't want to be told what to do and what she can't do.
Well, then that's
I
part
believe
of everybody.
in some of these 4,000 bitches' hearts, I'm pretty sure they know this is something I really don't want to fucking do. I don't want to fucking do this.
And that's why he said that he don't think those people should go to jail because they've been brainwashed.
They should go to jail.
coerced.
They should go to jail because they decided to lay down and have this baby. They decided to do that, and then you go, and then they go and 9 times out of 10, dude, on the women on these 4,000 women every day. How many of them are married? How many of them one night stands?
Most of them.
You understand what I'm saying? They say the culture that I'm involved with, the African American culture, we 13-14%? Shit, is that the reason why we low? They say the first slave came to America in 1619.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be 40, 50, 60% populated in America?
At least fucking 40,
I would think so.
hell.
But when you got 4,000, I'm not saying all 4,000 is fucking black. But
Let me see my tablet.
one thing I know is that every woman that I ever fucking around and been around with and said I had an abortion, they was black. I'm gonna share this crazy story with y'all, man. I'm 45 years old. This is based on a true story. This is what I'm about to tell y'all this here. I was 27 years old. About 27. I had this female friend. This is a friend. A friend of a friend. She was pregnant. She asked me, she was like, hey, Fink, will you give me a ride? Take me to the doctor's appointment. I got a doctor's appointment. I know she's pregnant. So I'm like, okay, I'm young, naive. We went, this is out here, this is in California. We went to the clinic, Planned Parenthood. In my 27-year-old mind, I was thinking that, okay, this is where she go and get her checkups. This is where she go and, and she, get everything ready for the baby to come in a couple of months. That's what I'm thinking. Planned Parenthood. They help you plan the child care of your baby. That's my 27-year-old mind. That's what I was thinking. So, make a long story short, I ended up moving. And just because I'm a caring person, I had contacted her. I said, man, I remember she was pregnant, supposed to be having twins or whatever. The baby was at that time about 7, 8 years old at that time. Man, I got in contact with her. She told me that she aborted the babies. And she reminded me, she said, Fink, you remember when you took me to Planned Parenthood? That's when I did that. I was so heartbroken. And I was used, manipulated. A woman took my naivete for granted to benefit her selfish lifestyle. That's bananas, man. That's not the reason why. That's not the sole reason why I'm against abortion. I'm against abortion because that's a human life. That's a baby, God damn it.
I could actually say that I'm probably a survivor of abortion, if you want to put it that way, because if it wasn't for my dad, I probably wouldn't be alive, because my mother actually had abortions after me.
Hold on. Did you say abortions or abortions?
Abortions.
Okay.
After me. And as I didn't realize at the time, but as I grew up, I realized I'm alive because of Leon, because of my daddy, who my daddy was. And I don't want my mother to see this, of course, but I do mean what I say, that I feel like I was lucky.
Let's check it, Dez. got pregnant and has been taking $1,600 a month from me for the past 16 years.
$1,600 a month.
My God, bro. I pray for you, man.
Yeah.
I pray for you, bro. I pray for you. Happy Father's Day to you today,
No
man.
kidding.
Today, see, guys like you, right? Guys like you, Des, I tell them Happy Father's Day, man, because a lot of times the men don't really hear that kind of shit. But somebody with compassion of your fucking, you can't even, you're mandated. That's why I'm against the whole child support thing. Not taking care of your child. I'm not saying that. I'm against the mandate. How the fuck are you gonna tell this man you gotta pay $1,600 a month, and if you don't, your ass going to jail?
You're gonna lose your license
Or
first.
you gonna lose your license first.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna start your downfall. And then if you do go and fucking just buy your little kid something, and then most motherfuckers say, I'm gonna keep the receipts and show the judge. That judge gonna tell you that's a motherfucking gift that you got. We ain't told you how much you need to pay. $1,600 a month?
That's a lot.
Come on, man. I done got a little sidetracked. Abortion makes me feel sad because I think of my life and how good it is, and that overboarded children could never experience life.
They need to make it easier to adopt and harder to abort.
Facts. They put me on probation because I was behind and broke, and some people and some shit on probation for being broke. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's Happy Father's Day to you guys, man. That's why I don't have kids, bro. That's why I didn't want the motherfucking responsibility of having a fucking child. Being mandated and being told, I gotta pay this, and if you don't, you're gonna go on probation and lose your life. For what, man?
And that all depends on
No.
how much is that easy street? I'm sure it's not.
Man, I applaud you guys, man. I applaud you guys. You guys, and a lot of times I tell a lot of little young I'm OG right now. That's what a lot of little young people. a lot of people in my neighborhood call me. Divorced me and took my shit. Well, you know what, Des? At least you was married. Now I'm not saying marriage was the key or nothing like that, but that usually softens up the blow when we married. I got my family with me. I'm not paying child support. Then we as brothers, and we can't look down on the brothers that don't have kids and say, oh, this motherfucker don't know what he's talking about. It's a responsibility thing, man. And then it's something that's going to help you out later in your life because you don't want to get fucked over like this right here. We need to teach these young men that, okay, you're not married to this woman. Okay, you did it wrong by having a one-night stand and then getting this woman pregnant. Bottom line is, no matter how the child came into this world, that you got a responsibility to take care of now. What we need to start teaching these young men, as soon as they find out they got that woman pregnant, or some strange woman pregnant, what they need to do is they need to stay in that woman's life just until the baby comes. When the baby comes, that first of all, you have to be a responsible man, meaning a worker, a 9 to 5, something to show, because you got to, your life is in the beginning stages of being fucked over, having to take care of somebody else. So what you're going to need to do is go get you a job, maintain some source of income. When that baby comes, do a blood test, pray to God. If you don't want the little motherfucker, pray to God that it's not yours. But if it is yours, which is proven by a blood test, you immediately need to go down there and put yourself on child support. The reason why I say you immediately need to go and do that, put yourself on child support, because for the brothers that I know out there and been around, they didn't do that. That's why they paying back child support. They 12 years behind on back child support. So trust me, it probably will fuck you. Probably like, God damn, I'm fucked up. I gotta go pay this fucking child support. But when you start getting around and start mingling with other men, you'll realize motherfuckers be like, man, these motherfuckers took my license. I owe goddamn $15,000 in back child support and shit like that. That's how you play that game. That's what us as responsible men need to teach these young brothers about that. But I'm gonna get back into the show, man. I appreciate everybody checking it out, the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast. Buzz Turtle Man said paternity test should be mandatory at birth. I totally agree with that.
I agree with that.
I just want to clarify, the thing that you're aiming for is less abortion, right? That would be what you want, or at least no abortion.
Eventually, it's also a protection of those that can't protect themselves. But yes, and that's why once after reversal of Roe versus Wade, we saw abortions go down dramatically in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. We saw thousands of babies that are now alive and well that are able to have amazing lives thanks to the reversal of Roe versus Wade.
I don't think a lot of that is true.
Well, it is, but
it's not true, because when you make abortion illegal, it doesn't actually decrease the amount of abortions that happen.
Talking point. In Texas, the numbers show differently. The birth rate has gone up.
Yeah, legal goes down, but illegal abortions still happen. Abortions still happen outside of whatever data you're showing.
That's not true, but let's just say well, if you
40?
you want to, well, first of all, you count the abortion pill, you're right, but that's a separate thing than a chemical abortion and surgical abortion are different things. So I'm not debating you. I'm debating her. So if you want to do the flags and come back in, try and be faster next time. So let me ask you this. So the question is, we should try to limit unjust suffering of human beings, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's my position, is that there's unjust suffering of anywhere between 1.4 to 1.6 million abortions a year of human beings that are being massacred in the womb. And so that's not a women's rights issue, that's not a men's rights issue, that's just a human rights issue.
Okay, the best way to decrease abortions happening is proper sex education. Limiting abortion and making abortion illegal does not actually decrease the amount of abortions that happen.
So what is your evidence of that?
What is my evidence of that?
Because we have increased sex education in the last 30 years. We've had
No, our sex education is so bad in America.
By bad, what do you mean by that? We have more access to birth control for young kids. We have more
Appreciate
kids that are looking to use birth control at a younger age.
Appreciate you slide through, Poker Trainer.
And we've seen all the trends actually go in a negative direction. So, in fact, we see
Shout out to your Bills. Your Bills won too, man.
The more disturbing those trends are. So you say that. Let me ask you just one more thing. You say that if we make abortion illegal, people will still do it. Should we then just make gang violence legal? Because
No, I'm saying if you actually wanted to decrease the amount of abortions that happen, you wouldn't be advocating for to make abortion illegal. You'd be advocating for all of these
does that
other
logic
things.
apply to stealing, looting, kidnapping, arson, and murder?
Well, actually, it does, because those are results of different
Okay,
societal
so-
issues
so-
that you should be
got it.
educating
So we
yourself
should
on,
make-
rather than making it
so we
illegal
should
up
make-
front.
Should we make kidnapping, arson, burglary, murder legal because they're symptoms of something else?
We should be helping society heal from
We
those
gotta answer the
things.
question. We want less of those things. Should we just make them legal and we'll get less looting?
Right.
You know, actually, I'm gonna let someone else.
Thank you.
Get out of here, bitch.
Hi, Parker. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Big TikTok guy here.
So, pedophiles, people who were married to children in the past and normalized in that society, should they go to prison?
Pedophiles.
Like, if you could go back in time, would you put those pedophiles in prison that married those children because it was normalized? They were deceived into thinking it's okay. Would you put them in prison?
You mean
Yes,
like
well,
Elvis and
pedophiles
fucking buddy?
should get the death penalty.
No. So you go back in the past, you give them the death penalty, even though they were deceived into thinking it was okay. But you said people who get abortions who are women shouldn't go
Hold
to
on a
prison.
second, but it's not currently illegal.
Okay, regardless.
Pedophilia
At that time, it wasn't.
No, I would not go back and retroactively enforce laws for things were currently not
You
illegal.
wouldn't put pedophiles in prison in the past.
Hold on a second. When was it illegal? When was it legal in America?
Well, child marriage was legal in America throughout the early 1900s and especially throughout most of society for thousands of years, especially in the Old Testament. and
Let's
the
get those
Bible.
likes
That's
up.
true.
We got 77 people in the
So-
building.
Where's the Levitical law that allows you to marry a child?
Oh, yeah. So,
Can you name the verse?
well, I can't end the verse, but the particular conditions that are listed in the Bible are that you have to be physical maturity and emotional maturity, which is extremely vague and throughout society has been seen to be met.
There is not a verse, but let's kind of go
Okay,
back.
so when is
Let's go
the
back
age
to
of consent
abortion.
under your view?
Let's go back to, generally agreed upon is 18 years old. But let me ask you.
But you, because you don't go based on what's generally agreed. You go based on the Bible.
I say 18 years old. But let me ask you a question.
Where's that in the Bible?
When does life begin?
Conception.
Like conception, great. So good. So should we protect all life at conception?
I care about sentient life, not
Sentient.
cellular
So when
life.
do brainwaves start?
You think brain dead people should be able to pull the plug on, like families should be able to pull the plug on an individual
Hold
and
on,
family that's brain dead?
answer the question. When do
Stop and answer
brainwaves start?
You can see brainwaves around 6 to 8 weeks, which in
I
brain
agree.
dead individuals are brainwaves as well. So the brainwaves necessary produces subjective experience
so
aren't met until around.
Can you see
18
it
to
from
26
my
weeks
perspective?
alone.
Can you see it from my perspective that at 6 to 8 weeks those brainwaves will actually increase, not decrease, allow the process of development to continue?
Did you know those same EEG scans exist in brain dead people that you don't think are
No, but
sentient?
the difference with the brain dead people is that the likelihood of those brain waves actually increasing is very low at 6 to 8 weeks, when by 15 weeks they can hear the
It's
mom's
impossible.
voice.
It's irreversible sensation. That's what brain death is. And I
Hold on,
apparently didn't know that.
but no,
It's not coma.
But you're doing a red herring. Go back to
No, it's
6.
not. What's a red herring?
A red herring is where you avoid the topic and you say something that is adjacent or symmetrical to what I'm saying, but not actually I'm saying.
You know
So
what that's that's not a red herring.
A 6 to 8 week baby, if they're allowed to continue to develop, what ends up happening?
At a certain point, it will become a sentient being in the future. The same way that if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, there'll be a baby in the future. Yet I don't care about the
Unless you're infertile, which we don't know. But so let's see the process of development, right? Why
You want to answer my question yet?
why do you have the ability or the
Should,
right?
should those child pedophiles go to
So
prison?
the process of
Should the
development
pedophiles go to prison?
from 1904. How many pedophiles are alive in 1904?
They're not alive, right? I meant like if you can go back in the past,
Okay,
hypothetically speaking, and you could put them in prison. Would you put them in
No,
prison?
I would have killed them myself if I was alive.
Okay, so then you don't apply it based upon what people are deceived to believe.
But
You apply it
yes,
based
I
on
do.
what you consider to be moral.
It's a
So women who had abortions, you think they should go to prison. So why should women who get abortions go to prison, but someone like my mom who told me that Santa Claus shouldn't go to prison because they're both sent?
Get him the fuck out of there.
Talking over me.
Well, I was finishing my statement. You were talking over me. Go for it.
Let me ask you a very simple question. Do you think it would be a good thing if we had less abortions in America?
Yes.
It depends on the context. Like, are the abortions prior to sentience?
Yes.
Because I
all
think
abortions.
Prior to what?
I don't sentience. What the hell is that?
Exactly.
Is that another sex? Another gender?
Their health medically.
Are you against
Like women after sentience? Yes.
Okay, so you believe in an 8-week abortion ban?
Yeah. No, I don't. Sorry, I believe in an abortion ban after 18 through 26 weeks.
Okay, that's a
my
more
bad.
reasonable position. I have to give you credit for that.
It's
Why-
similar to Trump's 15 weeks.
Yeah. So why do you think that most people don't share your view on that?
Well, people just don't really know what sentience is. There's not a lot of conversation about abortion, and these conversations are very difficult. Like,
Oh,
they're
sentient,
conceptually
something that
hard to
feels.
get.
Sentience is awareness.
Yeah, that's what it says right here.
Shout out to Shagadoo.
Appreciate that.
Sentience is awareness. Shout out to that.
Any pizza, any toppings, just
So I learned the word today.
It's right here.
Sentience.
So anything that's
I paused it, y'all, because of the copyright shit. I don't want to get no copyrights on the show, man. But hey, I appreciate everybody checking us out, man. Giving my little page. We got 81 people in the building right now.
I thought it was another gender.
I didn't know what the fuck a sentience was.
so I just have one question.
Shout out to Shagadoo for telling us what sentience is.
Any case where abortion should be legal.
A very, very rare couple cases.
Okay, so you do think that a couple cases
Oh,
it is
no.
legal.
If cesarean section is not going to save the mother's life, and the mother's life is actually at risk, which is debated amongst growing numbers of OBGYNs,
Okay.
that is the only case where abortion should be
Do you
allowed.
think there should
But people say
Shout out to NCG from UK. UK in the building. How you doing?
you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped. And she was gonna give birth and she was and she was gonna give birth and she was gonna live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
It's no, but it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
See-
Let me tell you why. Hold on.
I'm gonna make this quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this quick, y'all. This is the problem that I have. This is the problem when people always come up with the extra shit. And then when you say no, I don't give a fuck. Oh, well, you just a cynical person. You don't have no fucking empathy for nobody. You understand what I'm saying? That's one word. Remember I said word empathy. Y'all go back and do your research on what this man said about the word empathy. It's a lot of things that I've heard come out of his mouth that I disagree with. I just want to put that out there.
Let me throw something out here that a lot of his beliefs are based on his religious beliefs. And with the religious beliefs, they are strong beliefs. Or, I mean, so everything, in my opinion, is based on his opinions are based on what God says. So
Okay, all right. Well, so far as he's speaking on abortion, so far,
I
I'm
don't
not.
know what God says about abortion.
I'm
I don't
not-
even know if it's in the Bible.
I'm
to be
not
honest.
against abortion because God said something about abortion.
No, I don't know.
I'm against abortion because, goddamn it, that's a baby, that's a life inside you.
But back in the day, they used to sacrifice firstborn sons and stuff.
Fuck back in the day. Back in the day
I'm
when?
just saying.
2,000 years ago?
Maybe 6.
Man, let's get back into it.
I'm just
y'all.
saying.
What y'all think? Everybody in the chat room, 57 people checking out the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast. What y'all think? Yet type 1. If you agree with abortion, press 1. If you disagree with abortion, press 2. Let's see that. Abortion
2.
1. No abortion 2. Okay, say 2. 1, 2. There we go.
2. It's okay to say 1.
Let's keep them going, y'all. 1, no. 2, yes. I wish I could do a poll. I'm learning how to do a poll on this motherfucker.
So 1, we agree. 2, we don't agree.
1, we don't agree. 1, we agree. Do you believe in abortions? Number 1.
3.
I'm totally against abortions, no matter what. What the fuck are your 10-year-old is being? You not watching your 10-year-old?
Oh, there.
No.
Can't say that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I shouldn't. I probably yeah. Let's get back into it, y'all.
Can we get some volume? I don't like
Who the
her.
fuck is Alexa? Alexa, get the fuck out of my fucking room.
What is she saying?
Report the live, guys. They're smoking. I bet it's drugs too.
Oh, okay. Ah!
Get the fuck out of my fucking chat room.
Ah! Yeah.
The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant. What human rights you get. Hold on a second. If a person conceived and walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's not about that person.
The worst thing to do to that the daughter is to then say, "Hey, we're gonna go murder the being inside of you."
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know.
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to
No,
say
it
something
wouldn't.
evil happened and we do something good in the face of
No.
evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because
Wow, that's crazy,
we're gonna
Timothy.
pander to the evil? No. What
What Tim said. Tim said my ex was pregnant with a rare disorder and could have died or would have had to give up our baby even in her state. She wanted the babies to have a life over her. See, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why I'm against abortions. I applaud. Happy Mother's Day to that woman. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
That woman, that's what you do when you are a parent, when you are in charge of somebody else's life. Their life comes before you. You have lived your life. Give this new life that comes from you a beginning to continue on your legacy. I applaud that woman right there. That's why I'm against abortions, because that's what a responsible woman should think right there, how she should think.
She's a pain in my ass, but
Who's a pain in the ass?
but she's a solid person for the kid.
Hey, truth hurts, goddammit. I love it, Timothy. I love it, man. I love it, goddammit. That's a real woman right there.
Yeah.
With all due respect, Timothy, is the woman living? Is the mother of the child, is she still living?
Yeah.
Nothing but real from this end for sure. Is the mother of the child still living after she had the baby? She did make it. It was in a wheelchair for a while, but doing better. That's what's up, man.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, goddammit.
Don't listen to what they say.
That's what's up. Shout out to that woman.
What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being and the
I feel like Tim, they know just how to piss you. How we pissing Tim off? We fuck with Tim.
Who's pissing Tim off?
I'm speaking.
Hold on. Let's listen to this bitch.
So it's not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person. No. I'm talking about the person who is dealing with the pregnancy. I am not talking about the cells. I don't care. No, listen.
You got a message here for review there. See if you want it to go on there. Hit view message.
If there is a 5-year-old child who is pregnant and the baby is
I
2
bet
weeks,
that's her slave.
Actually, they have.
Ah.
There is one recorded case of a
Who?
5-year-old girl who
I
gave
don't
birth.
know.
Is that common?
Yes.
Oh, Alexa. I bet that's her slave.
If they get pregnant, I think they should be able.
Go ahead and show it, fucking dumbass. Shit.
I pressed slave show, but hell,
Not just their life, but like their livelihood.
How many?
Eric try again. I'm good.
Well, we would show it, Eric, you dumbass.
No, we good. Shit, let us stay in the chat room, goddammit.
Really nasty. And
We try to let her
Like
show.
I said, I'm gonna bet that fought for her right.
Yeah, she is kind of scary looking.
It's insanely nasty. And
Let Alexa
the
speak.
next claim is that college is a scam.
College is a scam.
No one
Just yes or
wants to be
no.
the sick or injured thing.
Is college a scam?
Yes or no, and move on.
Yes or no? My personal opinion, I wouldn't say a scam, but if you going to school, if you going to college to be a motherfucking PE teacher, no. You got to go for something essential. Teacher, doctor, lawyer, you know. But I think we should focus more on tech schools, my opinion. Y'all tell me what you think. Is college a scam, yes or no?
She said, "Are you okay, KK?"
I'm Alex. How are you doing? Good. So, college is a
You
scam.
okay?
Define our terms. College being traditional four-year college,
Of course.
university, not community college or technical college.
Of course.
A scam, we can agree on a definition.
Appreciate you, ENCJ. Make sure you subscribe before you hit the before you go, bro.
Money's worth or time's worth, and they're being deceived when they sign up. So do we agree on those terms?
Over in the UK. Shout out to the
Further
UK.
definitions. What do you think is the perfect
Tech schools built the country. I agree with you, Shane.
Traditional liberal arts education.
Those are the real workers of America.
That's not what it is. It should be the betterment of yourself and your soul, nurturing your character, and becoming a better citizen, understanding the deeper things in life. At the very least, though, it should be preparing one for the job market. Do you think college does those things?
I think it does, but I would add on to your point that I think not only is it for the betterment of yourself, but it's for the betterment of society. We need historians. We need certain majors that may not make as much money. I think those are for the betterment of society. Would you agree that there's some majors that may not make money, but are still essential
Well,
to
it
society?
depends. Do you
Yes.
think that getting a degree in gender studies is good for society?
No.
I would agree, yeah. Why would studying gender not be good for society?
Well, learning that men can give birth is not exactly a good use of time.
Is that what they're teaching in college right now?
Colleges, yeah. According to the Center for Disease Control, they no longer say women can give birth; they say birthing persons.
Okay.
Do
Right.
you think men can give birth?
Do I think men can give birth? I think that
Yes or
a
no
person-
question.
I think that a person who is assigned male at birth, I don't think they
Assigned
can give
male at birth, so people are not male at birth.
I think that a
See,
person
your evidence that college is a scam, my friend.
college is a scam.
You're lacking in a lot
Well,
of
here
wisdom.
we can continue right now. So, gender studies. Do you think that studying gender is not essential? Should we not deepen our
Well, first
understanding?
of all, I don't
of
think
gender?
gender. We're going to get there later. I think gender exists. I think
Okay.
that there are two sexes, infinite personalities, and no genders. However, let's get back to the core contention.
Well, here, can I ask my question
Scam.
again, real quick?
Well, I
Why
want
do
to
you
get back.
think-
I want to get back to my core contention. A scam.
Show me a
So
man
the
that
majority
can
of kids that
carry
go
a
to college,
child.
if
I'll
they
show
end up
you
getting
a
a
rich
job at all,
ass
they end up getting a
motherfucker.
job that doesn't require.
Show it. Really show it.
Certain jobs
It's not gonna
that
show
may
it.
not
For some reason,
associate
not gonna
with the direct
show.
major can incorporate skills that you learn from a major. I think I'm an econ major, and depending on what job
okay.
I do in the
We'll
future,
figure out how to
I'm
let
still
some of that
lost in
stuff
skills.
show. I don't-
So tell
I
me
guess I
about-
got some moderators in the
Tell me about
building.
He is an economist from. How I'll
That
tell a
moderators
story on
is
a
people
soul
in the chat
lived
room
about these-
checking for
Look,
hate
well, I will
speeches
say,
and
I
shit like
first,
that.
how about
Well, what was wrong with show me a man
I
that
don't
can?
know. Probably because you can't probably say MF or a
that's
motherfucker
what
on
psychedelics
YouTube.
are for.
There's a lot of rules on YouTube.
Oh, so I need to watch my mouth.
Yeah, they do. That's for real though. That's
Okay.
that's what they
But
say.
I think it's difficult to think about just one major. Thinking about
Did she
just
come back
gender
up there?
studies
Yeah,
is
she's
fair.
running up
Not
there.
everyone should be a gender studies major. We need doctors, we need lawyers, we need everything. However, why does it matter if
Now you good,
you want to
Timothy.
be a gender
You good.
studies major?
It actually didn't.
Not everyone.
It actually didn't come up like what you just said.
Some people.
I had to review that, but man, keep it up, bro. I appreciate you, Tim. Where you from, Timothy? I don't think I asked you that, bro. Where you from? And who is your favorite football team?
Where?
He from Charlotte. So are you a Charlotte? Are you a Panthers fan? I'm a Giants fan. You're a Giants fan. Oh, okay. All right then, man. Well, I'll tell you what. Continue to check for the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast, man. Every week I do my picks on the show. So just check for that.
And you know what? Yeah, it sucks that some people do go to college and get a degree and then they end up not in a workforce for that. But I don't think that has to do with like college was a scam. It's more like maybe that just wasn't the path for them, or that life choice was just too hard to get for them. But some people are able to go to college and get a degree and use it, and that is super important because imagine if no doctors went to college, they're just like, I think I can do
Well,
it.
of course,
Like,
doctors and lawyers need credentialing, right? But
So
less-
Shane Moeller said, "Roll Tide."
Go to college, end up studying
Yeah, I
medicine.
know where you
The
from.
vast majority go into soft social sciences, communications, and the humanities. So you're in college or have been, is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you forced to take classes that you think are a waste of time?
yeah, I'm
Okay.
Yeah, I
know
agree.
it.
So that they're taking your money and they're forcing you that they're a waste of time. That's kind of scammy, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that some
Ooh,
classes
some. So you have to probably go in debt, right?
depends.
Okay. Are you
On
going?
what
Are you
college you
going
go
into?
to.
Are you going into debt?
No,
Okay, that's good.
I picked a school that actually offered me a scholarship.
Oh,
and
so
I
someone
picked a
else is
school
paying
that
for
was
your
good. Oh, I don't know. Depends on me. I mean, that's
No,
a
I'm sorry,
school
that's-
that wanted to give me an opportunity, but that's not what we're talking about.
Well,
We're talking about
it's scam element.
Getting
right?
close to
So
home.
You said that there are some classes that if students had to go into debt or had to pay for,
Right.
would not be a good use of their time. So it's not representing students well.
Well, do you think like high school is a scam then? Because I had to pay for high school, but I'm not going to use AP US history in my psychology degree
Well,
ever.
I think AP US history is actually a really good use of time.
That's the
knowing
problem.
about your country and your
I'm a
history.
49ers fan,
I'm not
Tim.
doing that in my career. That's what we're talking about in the
Been a
career.
49ers fan since 1994.
Right? We said traditional college, right?
Okay.
Four-year college. And what a scam is, we're a majority of the people that will go through the enterprise, the business, or the institution are not getting their time worth or their money worth. So therefore, I go back to my core contention,
Okay.
which is a majority
Yep.
of kids that
I
exit
picked
college
Jerry Rice.
not
I picked the
get
49ers because
degree
Jerry
at all,
Rice
they would find a
was
job.
from Mississippi and I'm from
I think
Mississippi.
college is a scam. I don't think majority of them are going to say yes. Some of them will. Some of them are
Well,
going to.
not everyone who's being scammed actively knows they're being scammed.
But
People
it's
still
not-
buy erectile dysfunction drugs off the internet and they get
Okay,
scammed.
that's their own
People
like,
still-
personal choice,
Of
though.
course, people have choice to be scammed. I'm not saying they don't have a choice. I'm making an observation analysis of the institution. For example, flying Spirit Airlines, kind of a scam.
Okay.
Should be shut down. There is some, kind of agree. There are some things in life we have to take a step back and like, oh, the consumer is not
But
being well served.
You want to shut down a bunch of majors
I'm
in
not shutting- I've
colleges
never
that you
said that.
think are scams?
No, I never said that.
So what would your proposal be to
There's-
fix the scam
There
of
is
college?
there is no proposal. I'm simply.
You know what
making
Kristen
mention
Stewart
of
is,
a
baby?
So
scam.
then what's the point of that
Kristen
statement?
Kristen
Okay, you
Stewart.
agree.
But like, what would that
That's what she
do?
like a
what do
Tim-
you want to fix
That's
in
not-
college?
Kristen
That's
Stewart.
gonna help
The
it.
girl from she does from Twilight.
We can agree that's
She
policy
does
scam.
too. You're right.
Because not for everyone. For me, I'm using
You
a
know who
degree
she
that's
is.
gonna
Tim
help
said
me
the same
cope
thing.
with
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
I'm gonna show
I'm
you.
sorry,
Did
goddamn
you ever
it.
see Twilight?
Hell no. Twilight? Fuck no.
Do you absolutely need to get a degree to be able to get
Yeah.
That's a chick
Yeah,
flick.
I mean, like, I could
Yeah,
guess
I can
study
see it.
all on my own, but it's just like makes more sense to go and have all these experiences. I'm getting like wonderful experiences, internships all through my college.
So the
That's
only
helping
people that
me
get
go through it.
internships-
No, it's just that this is a
Yeah,
habit
definitely.
really
That's a
helping.
good one.
So you know there's 11 million jobs open in the country right now that don't require a
Fuck
college
no.
degree.
Okay, then the people.
Let me
who
ask
It was
have
a
those
good
jobs can go get
series.
those
Stop.
jobs. I'm not one of those
Push too
people.
many kids into college.
No.
Okay, so the national graduation rate is 59%. If I ask the room, everyone would agree that they know
Guy
something about
glitter.
college that did not
That's so
graduate,
true.
right? So we're probably sending too many kids into this institution.
But if they might have been able to do it, then like, why is it not worth it to try and
Well,
to push
because
yourself to
They
get a better
might-
education and
well,
go further in
legally,
your
that's
life?
a bad thing, right?
But some people are able to work through that, and it's like
Some
an
people are.
opportunity
But
thing.
when
It's like
an institution is multi-trillion dollars in scale, involves 23 million of our citizens every 4 years, and is not actually bettering the country. For example, if college was so great, you would see incomes going up for Gen Z and millennials. We'd see more people who have their own homes. Kids wouldn't.
Alright, she'll run her ass back
I
up
listed
there.
this in less than a minute. One extra dash, it's easy.
I didn't think you can do that.
What, go more than once?
Yeah.
It's all matter who can get there first.
It's what Tim say. It's funny that he always has a way to shut them down to do nothing else said.
And by the way, I'm telling you, right? Hello, what's your name?
Housing.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so let me start by saying, well, first of all, you said we're sending too many kids to college. Who's sending them? Who's forcing them?
Guidance counselors, parents, community.
Are they forcing them? Are they signing them up
Not
themselves?
forcing. I never said forcing, but you can have nudging. And
Okay.
forcing are two different things. We also subsidize college through the federal government. So you guys get subsidized interest rates,
Okay.
scholarships, and loans. So the taxpayer is nudging students and gently and sometimes forcefully pushing them into college. And you would agree it is an expectation if you grow up in an upper middle class home to go to college. You would agree with that. So there's a societal cultural
I
push.
didn't grow up in an upper middle class.
Okay, well, but would you see it from there? Would you see how that argument is correct?
I guess there might be a pressure, but no one's sending them. You're sending yourself.
Well, of course.
Well, we're all over the age of 18, right?
Right,
When
but-
you're in
That
college,
doesn't
so you're
mean
sending
anything.
yourself.
Right.
But that's beside
But let's
that's
be
the
honest. I mean, but that's a silly argument.
Alright.
But yes, they're technically sending themselves. I was just at Arizona State University move-in. Everyone had their parents there. They were co-signing on loans. They were there helping pay for stuff. Parents, the ones that are still checking in, they're the ones that largely subsidize their lifestyle. Hey, mom, can you Venmo me $3,000 that I can go out on an extra night? Yes, of course. And when you're 18 years old, you're the one signing on the dotted line. But there's enormous pressure and nudging and cultural expectation that students go to college.
Right. Okay. I think the problem here is that it's up to the person.
Every time they raise a little flag, he laughs.
Come out with a degree. You have to put the work in. You have to put the work in. You have to make connections. And some people might think college is just 4 years of partying and drinking and making friends, whatever. But you have to actually put the work in. And if you put the work in,
Gotta have
you
that
make
discipline.
connections, and you can find a job right outside college.
Well, no, not doubting that you can't find a job. It's just that 52% of them get a job that doesn't require them to get the degree.
But most jobs offer incentive pay if you have a degree. And
But-
86%
but if that's the case,
86% of
if-
people
if-
with a degree
that is
get
true.
paid more than people with
Well,
just a high school diploma.
That's only if you count the ones at the top 10% of income earners. So not if you count humanities, not if you count people that study in the social sciences. If you count medicine, you count law, that's absolutely correct. However, the vast majority of kids who go to college are not studying medicine, law, engineering, business, finance. They're studying communications, social sciences, or humanities, which are on the lower income ladder. So as I mentioned, we have 11 million job openings in this country right now that do not require a college degree. I'm guessing in this room that within 4 to 5 years, you guys would be able to earn $80 to $100,000 a year. Yes. Do you know that in states across the country and in cities, they're offering apprenticeships to become plumbers and welders, electricians? That doesn't require for your college.
You see the bitch?
She's an asshole.
$80,000 a year.
But again, 86% of people with a bachelor's degree earn more
I've already
than
told you.
people with a high school
already told
diploma. No, 86% of all people with a bachelor's
If
degree.
you take out the top 10%, it's actually lower than those that don't go to college. So the reason that number, that average goes up, is because the doctors and the engineers and the lawyers are the ones that bring that average so significantly
Exactly.
down. But let me ask you a question.
Exactly.
Do you think that there's any waste at all in the current college model?
Do I think there's any waste? I don't think we need all of it.
Okay, good. What part?
Well, you have to start with your core classes. And it's like high school, you're taking the same classes
So do you
in high
think,
school.
like, for example, do you think that
Oh, see, that was a good one too. She could have kept on for all I care.
I'm Emily. Nice to meet you. Earlier said that about 5% of college students are going into fields of like medicine, law, and engineering. Was it?
let me clarify
Okay,
this. As far as they're going to be able to get postgraduate degrees. degrees. So they will go.
That was a
all the way up
solid
and get
debate.
this master, where they will end up passing the bar or becoming a doctor. Right. So it's easy to say doctors, lawyers, but healthcare professionals, if you count nurses or people that work in healthcare, that number is closer to 20-25%.
Okay, so 5%. Who here has a doctor? Can you like raise your hand if you have a doctor?
Like a medical.
A doctor, yeah. Like a medical doctor. Yeah, you do. Okay. 5% is still a lot of people, right?
Of course, but that means 95% might not need to exist at the institution.
I don't think that's the takeaway. Just because 5%, which is still millions of Americans all
Hold on a
across the
second.
board.
But if you were to say, hey, we only have medical schools, only have legal, we can get rid of gender studies, get rid of. So what's the contention?
Well, gender studies is actually, if you look on like the pre-law track, gender studies is a pre-law track. If you're going to be a lawyer, you have to study gender studies and other social cultural studies.
College is a scam. Why would a lawyer need to study gender studies? Should the lawyer know the law?
It's a social science. The law. You think the law isn't inadvertently affected by social, cultural, and gender norms?
Of course it is, but shouldn't they first know the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Federalist Papers?
We learned that in high school.
Okay, so what is martyr versus medicine?
Very cold. Hot as
I've been in high school
fuck.
for a long time. I'm not trying to be a lawyer. Yeah.
So
I think high schools are like probably high
What was
school.
Brown versus the Board of Education?
That's for desegregating schools.
Good.
Yeah. Which Project 2025 wants to like defund the Department of Education? So like
Who wrote the Constitution?
founding fathers, 1778. I don't know.
It wasn't 1778.
I don't know. Yeah.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, well, this is the point, is that you don't learn in high school, you don't even learn in undergraduate, and our law school's not learning, so maybe,
Well, I'm not in law school.
well, the point is that you were saying that they already learned it, they don't. I don't
Except
want
for
this to
the
be
very
pop quiz or trivia, I didn't go to college, and I'm asking very basic civic questions, and you're paying to go to college and you can't answer.
That's so fair, but I think
Thank you, sorry.
They didn't like you.
Damn.
Oh, he's back.
Church scam? No, church is honoring the divine and the eternal and the good and the true and the beautiful. It's college.
But it deceives people because you give a promise of everlasting life, which you don't actually get because Christianity is contradictory logically speaking.
Do you want to get into a theological debate, or are we going to talk about knowledge? Because I completely disagree. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and we will have eternal life.
Okay, so how, if there is a perfect being that created the world, how could we exist in an imperfect world?
I'm happy to have this discussion. Can we go back to college, though? Because do you think, because that's
Free
a little
will,
bit of a red
dumbass.
herring and a little bit of a rabbit hole. Tell me what that has to do with college being a scam.
Well, I do think college can be a scam for certain people. I don't think it's a scam for everyone.
So,
For people like me, college was very beneficial for me.
for sure.
I'm
Who is it a
I'm
scam?
asking you, based on your definition of a scam, do you consider the Christian church a scam?
Of course not. It's giving people eternal life and teaches them
But if
goodness.
Christianity is false, then that's a deception.
Okay, but you think it's false. I don't. We can agree to disagree. Also,
I'm not agreeing to disagree on that.
but we're not talking about the church. We're talking about college, right? So again, also people are not paying to go to church, are
But
they?
it's a reductio ad absurdum.
Ask the question.
What's a reductio ad absurdum?
It's a Latin term that means reducing down to the lowest common belief,
Yeah,
correct?
so I'm taking
Am I right? I go to college, I knew that.
I'm taking your particular position.
Let me ask you a question without you interrupting me. Do you pay to go to church?
I know I don't.
Do
Some
you-
people do.
hold on.
They're forced to pay based upon their particular denomination.
Today, do you pay to go to church?
And depending on the church.
No, you don't. Do you have to go to debt to go to church?
In some circumstances, people do because they have to give up 10% of their income to be able to do that, which people can't afford.
Circumstance.
Well, they're LDS. You understand a lot of LDS churches specifically require 10%
Yeah,
of
they
their
don't
income.
require it. And what you're
They do
talking
in plenty of places.
well, you're asking mainline Christian.
Isn't there stigmatization if you don't do that?
Okay, you're good at interrupting, not good at answering.
Well, you haven't answered any of my questions yet.
I did say no. Church is not a scam. Church is the bride of Christ. College is a scam, and college is.
Get any pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online.
Is college a scam?
I wouldn't know. Never went.
How many? We got 50 people in the chat right now. We got 50 people checking out the Neighborhood Superstar podcast. Is college a scam to y'all?
They were 10%. Well, you say 52%. I don't think you can qualify 52% of people don't do that. For example, my job, that's not going to be recommended as an economics degree. Most economics majors are going to go into TikTok debating online. But I use the information that I learned in college in my job on a daily basis. So I still use relevant qualities that are then used in my job later on.
What percentage of kids that go to college are being scammed?
I don't think anyone knows that because it's dependent upon an individual.
Should we try to find out?
Well, if you'd like to find some empirics on that, I'd love to see it.
I just did. So 41.
Roll
Maybe that's
up.
not a source.
Man, what's going on? I know it.
No, the Department of Education doesn't say 41% of people it was a scam for, or that they didn't use any of the information they learned in college.
You are using.
So are you saying none of them use any of the information? And
I say 3 words without interrupting me?
do any of them
How
use
about
the information
4?
later on?
can I say 5 words that interrupt
You
me?
can interrupt me multiple times.
So since you say college is a scam for some people,
Mhm.
it's a ballpark. For the kids that do not graduate, 41% that ended up going and not graduating, were they scammed?
No, just because you go and pay for a particular thing, but then you don't follow through with it, doesn't mean you were scammed.
Maybe they were
You
misled.
decided to pay for it. Oh, you can say some people are misled. Some people are some people are misled by the church. And you never answered my question on that because you're trying to take that time down so you don't have to answer the question about Christianity. You know your worldview looks terrible.
Well, what about Christianity do you want me to answer? We're talking
Because I was saying that is church a scam? If church is a scam, that'd be predicated off of the idea that you're deceived into believing.
Some churches are.
Hold on, we just came back in. These folks, somebody is a church scammer now?
Christianity is
Is church a scam?
It's church
You're gonna let me finish 3 words in a row.
That's the debate we're doing right now.
Did the resurrection happen?
I don't think the resurrection occurred.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. A perfect creator, is it possible for them to not desire something imperfect?
Is a perfect creator? I'm sorry, what?
There's a perfect creator that desires everything that's just perfect. How can they desire something imperfect? Fuck.
Well, because maybe they want to get to know themselves. Maybe they want to see their own creation. Maybe they love
They want to know them? Or just don't know it?
Can I finish talking here? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because
God
God
damn.
loved the world so much that his creation, which rebelled against him, given agency and free will, rebelled against them, then got eternal life that we actually deserve, and then sent his son on a rescue mission to save us from that. The church is the bride of Christ.
Shane Moses said, I had a son who lived outdoors. Are you talking about your son, Shane? Had a son who lived outdoors hunting and fishing, came back home, came back from college brainwashed. Son no longer hangs out with me. Yeah, I'm sorry, Shane.
No, it's not logically contradictory.
So desire something imperfect.
Was he?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Shane.
An
Fuck.
unstoppable object hit a unusual course.
Hey, before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thank
Sorry about that, bro. I hate that you fucking going through. Buzz, Turtleman, Joe is Osteen. Is he a scammer?
Yeah. How about Kenneth Copeland?
I remember when Osteen, when they flooded and he wouldn't let the folks come into his church? That's when I stopped. That's when I started looking down on him. I never paid attention to him anyway, but that's when I knew he was a bullshit a lot.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Copeland. Yeah. There's quite a few of them out there. A lot of them. All the big wigs.
I want y'all to.
What's that guy's name that used to do the healing? Benny Hinn? Or is that what's his name?
How many of y'all in the chat know about Reverend Ike? Reverend Ike. I'm not the most religious person in the world, but the reason why I stumbled across Reverend Ike on YouTube, he's like a 70s player, preacher looking, Don Juan looking preacher. But he motivates on inspiration. Y'all go check him out, Reverend Ike.
What's your name?
Sam.
Nice to meet you. Let's define our terms. A woman is an adult female, XX chromosomes. You tell me what is a woman.
I think a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So that's not a definition. That's like saying a table is something that identifies as a table. Give me an objective definition
No,
of
it's
how.
not. A table is an object.
Well, tell how.
A table can't identify as anything. It doesn't have a
You have to
choice.
give me an objective definition.
What if I want to identify as a cat?
Chat room.
Meow.
Chat room. Tell me what's a woman. What's a woman and a man, y'all? In the chat room. Tell me.
Definition of what a woman is.
If I decided right now that
A squirrel can be a dinosaur, damn it.
Okay, but that's not that doesn't answer the question.
I know, but right now I'm a man, right? So if that happens right now, I'm a woman.
Thing is,
Once a person makes the decision to identify as a woman,
got it. No,
or a woman,
that's a separate issue. What is
What's a woman? In the chat room, y'all. Question. What's a woman? What's a man?
identifies themselves as a woman.
But you have to identify. How do you know that they are that thing?
How do I don't need to know what they are. I can ask them if I want to know.
But there needs to be. You need to tell me what that thing is, though.
Somebody who. Okay,
You-
okay, sorry, we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting
No,
anywhere.
that's important because it's like saying a giraffe is a thing that looks like a giraffe, or a coyote is a thing that looks like a coyote. It's called circular reasoning. You have to give me a definition.
I don't have to. I did give you a definition.
No, you said that a woman is something that thinks they're a woman. That doesn't give me a definition. That's simply.
Shout out to Buzz. I like that. I agree with you.
No. I mean, like, what makes that a definition?
We got a commercial. My opinion, what a woman is. A woman is a human being that bleeds every 30 days. That's a woman. A woman is a person who sits down to piss.
Well, you can't really say that. A lot of guys would be like, "Oh, sit down and piss."
When I'm taking a shit, when I'm shitting,
I'm glad she beat him.
when I'm taking a shit, I hate pissing when I'm sitting down. Let me say that again. When I'm shitting, I hate pissing when I'm sitting down. A man stands up to piss. A woman sits down. A woman has fallopian tubes in her body when she's pushed out the womb. A woman has a uterus inside her little body, inside her body, if her mother doesn't abort her. She has fallopian tubes. When she gets about, in today's society, 8, 9, 10 years old, she started having periods.
What about 10, 11? 12?
That's a woman. That's a female. Stop with the bullshit.
You say XY chromosomes, but one has a PP and one.
Don't let me get into the X and Y chromosome. Y'all look out for my next live. I'm going to tell y'all.
What are they getting on binary from?
I'm going to give y'all my opinion on how homosexuality come into play.
I just want to know.
Y'all check out for my next one of my next live streams when I give y'all my synopsis on how homosexuality plays about in the human. Notice I say human race. Let's get back to this right here, y'all.
You're lucky I don't raise a leg.
Women are so much more than that. They come in a variety of shapes, sizes, colors. And I don't necessarily think that you can count out somebody who's trans just because they don't have a certain set of chromosomes. There are also people who are born, I'm drawing a blank.
Intersex?
Yes.
So XXY or YY.
Or just X0 with nothing.
So natural mutations upon the binary, essentially, right?
Yes. So,
but they don't have both sex organs that both operate, right?
yeah, but that also I don't think necessarily works, right? Because if it's X, there's X, and there's a.
So you're either more male or more female, right? So you might have both a penis and vagina, but there's never been a case of someone who can impregnate themselves.
Okay. I also don't necessarily think that works for this situation, but
makes sense.
I also want to say that one of my best friends is trans, and I would say that she's more of a woman than I am. I think that women define themselves by multiple things, not just their sex organs. If somebody asked me who I was as a woman, I would not say I have a vagina.
Totally fair. No, I think you said something smart. So you said that person is more of a woman than you are. Therefore, you're grading off a definition of something accomplished as womanhood. What is that?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's, well, that's the thing too, and I do think that gets a little complicated, right?
No, let her
Because
finish.
there are social norms for a gender, but I do think we try to break that, right?
For sure, but you said that specific friend is more of a woman than you are. Why?
She's more glamorous.
No. She's a better person than me. I think she lives
women are better
life.
people.
She's a better woman than I am. I'm not saying women are better people.
What makes a woman? Because you said she's more of a woman than you are. So I want to know what that definition is.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna let somebody else go.
Right.
So do we have any women in the chat room? Do we have any women in the chat room? What makes y'all a woman? In this particular case right here, in this woman's case, I was waiting on her to say that she doesn't have kids and the person that she's talking about have kids. You know, because I've heard personally, if I heard, oh, you ain't got no kids. Nobody never said this to me because, like I said, I don't have any kids. But you're not a man until you become certain things in life, which is a father and stuff like that. So I was waiting on her to say that. And that's a good question. That's why I asked if there are any women in the chat room tonight. If it is, or let me ask some of the guys. Are you a man? Are you a real man if you have kids? Because I think that's what he was leading her to. Y'all tell me in the chat.
No. What he was saying, she was saying that a man transgender is more of a woman than she is.
Oh.
What she's wanting to say is that this transgender probably shows more glamour. You know how they are, how they overdress.
Oh, she was talking about some transgender shit.
Yeah, she was talking about her friends are transgender.
Oh, okay.
And he is more woman than she is.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck no. No, he needs to stand up to piss. Trust me. He needs that. That's the motherfucker that's confused. Yeah, he likes shit.
Or is she confused? She talking about he's more of a
He
woman
like
than she
piss.
is.
He like pissing when he's sitting down taking the shit. Come on, man. I don't like that shit.
No offense, but right. Look, see ya.
Yeah.
I want her to get back up there. I can't stand it. Oh, this guy, third time.
All right, Parker, what is a woman?
A woman is an adult human person that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with female sex. Now, define a man. Define a man.
You're looking at one XY chromosomes and A.
Okay, but does God the Father have XY chromosomes? Prior to incarnation,
We literally have a religious.
he's the Father and he's him, but he's not a man.
We have a religious.
Wait, so a man is
That guy right there is happy Charlie Kirk's dead.
He's still a man. He's still
It's actually very interesting. The original Hebrew, Adonai. Do you know what Adonai is? It's the Hebrew word for God. It's actually genderless. But in the scriptures, they use he, right? And they use the masculine. Jesus Christ came to earth as a man, not as a woman, not as genderqueer. But let's go back to.
But God the Father's a man, right?
Well,
Because all fathers are men.
Well, first of all, there's a trinity. So God the Father is neither man nor woman. He is omniscient, omnipotent. He is all being on top.
So why do you use he?
Well, I did not. The scriptures do. You could use woman. You could say her. You could use him. But the way that the language is structured, again, it is so. God the Father is so above gender. It is so above any of our understanding.
Then why use him?
Glory and understanding. Again, because you have to make a choice, either he or him or her in the original scriptures. Let's go back. I'm happy to get into
Can you hit Kara quick?
So
So some fathers are not men and women.
Okay, there are certain rules in the Bible that women are supposed to be. This is what a woman is.
Okay, this is my wife is about to give chat room her perspective of what a woman is.
No, I'm
Nah,
talking
I've been
about
fucking with
biblically.
him.
I'm talking about biblically.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're talking about God as a gender. Okay. People want to say God is non-binary. Okay, hang on. Talking about he's genderless. Okay, that's all that means. He's genderless.
Then why we say
hang
yeah?
on, listen.
Okay.
I'm trying to explain that. This is where the confusion needs to stop because I don't agree with him saying that God has no gender. Because let's say this: God set down rules to make man lead. If God wasn't more on that side of the game, the creator, the leader, does that make any sense?
I agree with you. I'm
I'm not sure if I'm explaining it.
I'm
right.
if God,
Women are.
Listen, it sounds like it sounds like to me what you're saying is this right here. You can tell God was a man because when He created human beings, He created the man first. Is that what?
For a woman to basically be submissive to that man.
Exactly. So I get what you're saying. So
a woman wouldn't do that.
There you go.
So God is in more of the testosterone level.
The leader.
Male
that's why
leader. If God's the leader, He's not gonna make a woman the leader unless that's what the leader is leaning towards. That makes no sense.
That's why it's an honor in being a man. That's why it's an honor in being a man.
Well, Jesus called His Father. Father pertains to male. Think about all this.
That's why it's an honor in being a man. When you're a man, it comes with responsibilities of being a man.
He's supernatural being with no gender. I get that. But what's that name?
Buzz Turtle Man said, "We don't need no man." Next thing you know, your house is burning down. Hey, that's a good one.
If God's not a gender, then explain to why Jesus calls Him Father.
God is our Father. God is our Father, who is referred to thousands of times. Bible's Father is a man. Exactly. Easy money. Exactly. I like that. I like that, bro. You would, if for the ones who check out the Neighborhood Superstar podcast, I'm putting it out there right now. I don't know nothing about the Bible. Only thing I know is what people tell me. You'll never hear me say, well, this and that. When I hear people talking about the Bible, I always listen. Always listen. So I'm just listening on that right there.
Makes sense. It's all about common sense at this point.
Yes, not men or boys.
I'm sorry.
Some fathers are not male.
No, of course they are.
Wait, so God the Father's a male?
What? God the Father. So where did you get God the Father from? What Greek
From
word?
your scripture.
Well, from Abba, right? Which is a very close personal.
You're not answering my questions and you're bringing up random language that doesn't matter.
Well, it actually does.
No, it doesn't.
But let me get down to the root of it
Because he's not a man. You know he's not a man under your worldview. You can still use his preferred pronouns. You still call him a man.
Christ is a
You
man.
don't do that with trans people because you're transphobic. That's why.
Okay, guys. Well, Christ is a man.
Christ is a
happy
man.
to get into the sexuality and
Before
gender
incarnation, he's not.
of the Trinity. Okay.
Before incarnation, there's no penis, there's no XY chromosomes, there's no small
Hold on a
gametes.
second. Let's think about it. If that's
See, this is
correct,
why I
how
couldn't
is it
be
that
around
Jacob saw
certain
the face
people,
of
man.
God?
This is a hard job for this guy. It has to be. You have to be. I don't know why anybody would choose.
This is why this is why certain people when they ideology, I couldn't even be around them. Because he would look at me like I'm some fucking dumbass, and that'd be an insult to me.
You wouldn't even step up there because
No, I'm not talking about I'm talking about the guy that he's dating. The young punk ass
oh
motherfucker.
yeah, he shouldn't even got up
Peter
there.
Pan looking motherfucker.
This is the third time for fuck's sakes. Excuse my language. For beep sakes.
There's kind of face without biology.
How did Jacob wrestle with God?
So okay, do you think that he has a body?
Well,
Or was that a figurative notion of wrestle?
that's a mystery of the scriptures. I'm not here. Well, it is. I'm not here to debate theology. Can we go back to
So why does he actually have biology? You keep trying to pivot because you know this debunks you.
Well,
Somebody
what-
said, well, you have wisdom, so God must have his hand on you because of your values,
I don't quite
which are
know.
biblical.
So you don't know what a man is?
Dennis Ruiz, who you talking about, Dennis?
It's a little opaque. Again, you're looking at a man.
But your video, the largest video on TikTok is what is a woman 20 million views?
The problem is-
your own
I
worldview.
said you're looking at a man, right?
Oh, for man.
What's the problem, baby?
Okay. I don't know if there's any females in here. If there
Are-
are, I'm sure she's gonna get mad at me
If
when I
we-
say this. But
If we have any females in the chat room, we got 30 people checking us out in the chat room. If you are a female, press 1. Go ahead, baby.
I'm not a woman. Oh goodness, she's not supposed to be ran over, beat, and all that, raped, and all that shit by her husband. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but a woman is to be submissive to her. She is to take care of her man. Her man takes care of him. We have the gatherer.
Hunter and the gatherer.
Okay, and then what do the women do in all ancient tribes, religions, especially religion? Let's look at the Muslim religion right quick. That is a very strict religion that's closer to how God feels than any of this shit that we're doing right now.
Hold up. So
God is strict.
So you mean to tell me the Muslim faith is a little bit more stricter than the Christian faith? Is that what you is that what
But
you?
it all goes back to the beginning.
No.
It's all the same.
No, it's all the same. But I'm saying it's more stricter. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Oh, okay.
because with Jesus and all this stuff, that's is a strict religion. Most people think they're going and they're not going. You could be a good person. You could help the needy. You could save babies and help pets. But if you don't have that personal relationship, you don't get to go. You like watching stuff that I like watching, listening to the shit that I listen to, and you think that you're going? You're not going.
Easy Money said nurturer. That's what a woman is.
A nurturer.
I agree.
That's right.
Shout out to Easy
Now
Money.
we want to be equal to a man. And now we want to fight manhood. And women are dogging fucking men out like they don't need a man. Bitch, yes, you do.
Easy Money gang, Dinero Fassi.
Ugh.
Easy Money, Dinero Fassi.
And I don't know what's happening to the men. They're all turning like this. I don't get it.
Shane Mobley said they take care of the provider.
Exactly.
I bust my ass all day. My wife lays my plate in my lap every day when I get home. that's a real woman.
That's right.
I agree with you. I agree with
good
you.
woman
Shout
right
out,
there, man.
shout out to that woman. Shout out to that woman. Shout out to her. I agree with that. Why are they not letting me hide? Why they hid that statement? Shane ain't saying nothing wrong. Oh, because he said ass.
Oh, for the love.
Ain't that a bit? Well, ain't that
we-
a skeezer? So we can't cuss.
Well, that's a hard one.
But anyway, shout out to that right there, man.
They're killing me.
A man that's defeating you in a debate right now.
Okay, that's fine. So let me ask you a question though. So do you think that anybody can become a woman?
I think that anyone who meets my criteria is a woman.
What's your criteria?
Again, adult human person that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with female sex.
Can society ever be wrong?
Sure, but like it's a desire to be in accordance with a set of social and cultural norms.
Can I
It's
become
not
black
society's
if I wear
right.
blackface?
No, because it's not a desire that you have to be in accordance with a particular set of
What
social
if somebody
and cultural norms.
wants to be black?
Because race is defined phenotypically based on the expression to other people.
But you're by some standard you're judging that.
Do you think there's a phenotypical expression of someone who's white and someone who's black? Like I see you're white because your phenotypical expression.
Right. So, but do you think? But Rachel Dolezal that said she is black and culturally black, is she black?
Does she have phenotypically characteristics we would associate with
Define
people who are black?
phenotypical. I'm not sure what that would.
It's going to be the expression.
So
of
melanin
particular
content on the
characteristics.
skin.
Yes.
Okay. So she could pass as a black person.
Wait, so she doesn't have the melanin content?
She's borderline.
No.
Heavily.
Okay, so then she's not black.
Okay, so you're able to say who's black and not black?
That's how we define it in society. No.
Okay, got it. So, but is there an objective definition of who is black?
Wait, language is all subjective. Linguistics professionals indicate it's subjective.
Language is all subjective.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Every word you just used was created by other human beings that are engaging in conversation.
No,
you might think it's created by God, but even then it's still subjective.
But now we're getting somewhere.
God's subject.
Now we're getting somewhere. Is the word and the value behind murder objective or subjective?
Well, I think morality is subjective, but you think it's subjective too because it comes from God.
That's interesting.
Wait, does it come from God or independent of God?
Well, no, of course it comes from God. It's transcendent.
That's subjective. That's subjective. Yes, it is. If it comes from God, it's specifically subjective. If it comes independent of God, then it's objective.
No,
what you just told me is
God
also
is objective
compatible with moral anti-realism.
So let's go back to the Ten Commandments.
You don't understand meta-ethics.
Well, hold on. So
what does subjective morality mean? What does it mean?
Subjective morality means that it comes in everybody's own opinion, their own form.
Not dependent on a stance.
Again,
God is a stance, and that's the truth of morality.
So if let's believe. Do you believe in if everybody believed in the concept of God, the transcendent God, that there was a Ten Commandments and we should live by them, right? Is that objective morality?
No. Just because people agree doesn't make it objective. Again, independent of a stance.
What is
agreement?
What is objective morality?
Woo!
Domino's best
Man,
burger is back.
my brain. I tell you, that guy, I hope he don't get it for a fourth time.
Sorry, thanks.
Jeez. Yeah.
Mason, how are you? Nice to meet you. Okay.
So I think it's a little.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tim, on that right there, bro.
Like your thing is the worship of Israel.
I pay him royalties.
Okay, for sure. Well, do you want to talk about sex first, or do you want to talk about gender?
I don't think gender exists. I think it's a term that John Money and Judith Butler created over the last 40 years that basically is a filler for personalities.
Okay, well, if we're talking about sex, which it seems like you're saying is the exact same thing, would you say sex is binary by definition?
For sure, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you're already incorrect. Like sex is not binary; it's bimodal. So if you look at a distribution graph, we're going to see people in two camps majority of the time, but there are going to be externalities on both ends of the spectrum and in the middle.
For example,
so we already talked about intersex. Right?
However, with intersex though, they are mutations of a binary, correct?
No, we're talking about.
Hold on, but
we're talking about an entire spectrum. Which sex you're by definition defeating your expression of what a binary is by saying that there are externalities.
But let me ask you a question. The like XXY.
Sure, yeah. So we didn't create this one box and then use any examples that are outside of that box.
You brought up
to justify that box again.
You brought up intersex.
We're talking about reality.
You brought up intersex.
Okay.
What sex organs? Which one is more dominant?
What do you mean?
In an XXY situation.
I want to get Coach Prime tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have more female characteristics and male characteristics in an XXY, or it might be YYX. One of the two. The point is that you do not have both.
We could see people with female reproductive organs that have XY, and we can see the vice versa, people with male reproductive organs that have XX.
So I think you said something about gender, though. I think that's more interesting to get into.
Okay.
Do you understand how the
So
conversation?
we're moving on to sex because
Well,
you're
no,
seeing that argument.
No, I'm not seating it.
Okay.
I wanna keep-
Buzz Turtle, man, I agree with you, bro.
So besides
As a
being
Navy
female
man,
categories,
I've been to a lot of places
We have people
around
that
the
are
world,
nice
man. I
people
totally
that are
agree
on
with
the
what
other
you
end.
said,
Are
man.
you aware of what?
Totally agree with what you said.
Somewhat of an understanding.
Okay, well, so you can be presented with a graph after this by the people that you brought with you, but it's actually fine.
So just like constantly going to condescending type talk is not going to be for you.
I'm just trying to match your energy with the people that you treated that were trying to have a
Got it.
conversation.
So
You have a message here for review.
I would say
Let's
that
see
women
what
are
somebody
women
said.
because people that exist
Oh,
under
shit.
the category of women, people that exist under the category of men are still
Got it.
humans.
So that category, how's that defined?
Well, I wouldn't limit it to things like genitals or things like chromosomes, which seems like you want to do. What type of genitals?
This guy looked like he was hit in the face with a big.
I'm not saying genitals, but I could do a blood sampling right now and I can see exactly what you are because every single one of your trillions of cells are either coded with XX or XY. No matter how much surgery, whatever.
You look at his face.
You are man. You could take hormones. You could play camouflage. Like I could fool you to be Hispanic if I had the right Hollywood makeup.
Not him.
That doesn't mean that you are the thing, though.
But you're going
It's
from
like
a
God.
biological perspective, which we've already talked
It's
about.
like God. It's like saying God has a color. He created a tree, but he doesn't. But he does.
And I'm sitting down at the table. You're telling the waiter, "Hey,
What
I'm going to
does
go
he
sit
say?
with blank. What would you use?"
He
Well,
is
he doesn't know
a
my
tree
name. Yes.
negative.
Well, I'm sitting over there.
That guy. Yeah. Yes. Correct.
That guy. You're going to typically use here, or you're going to say that guy.
I want to go back to that. I want to make a comment right quick, y'all.
Based on my
Yes, and
I'm gonna make it short and simple. Remember when I call him Peter Pan? I'm sorry if I'm bullying him. Sorry, but the guy that's the third guy that was before this guy. Remember when he was talking about God has no gender?
You said Peter Pan.
It made me think because I'm a deep thinker. You look at the perspective of what they presented Jesus as to us. So if American society has presented us to Jesus to be a white man with blue eyes and long curly hair, and that's what they brought us upon to believe that's what Jesus looked like. Shouldn't we respect that man for? I'm just being a devil's advocate here. Shouldn't we respect that man for saying his belief, this new age, youngism? I don't know what are we? I'm Gen X, 45 years old. I'm Gen X. What the young motherfuckers is?
What, Gen Z? Or
I don't know what that's all new stuff to me. But I mean, do you get what I'm saying?
Somebody will explain it to us.
Do you get what I'm saying though? They put it out there to us that Jesus is.
You're Gen X.
I'm Gen X. Okay, appreciate you, Shane. They put it out there that Jesus is a white, blonde-haired man with long hair. Why shouldn't I respect the fact that what this young man want to put and what he want to believe? Even though that shit sound like some bullshit, but a lot of people are not really to be bold enough to say that, okay, this picture that America has put up for us to say this is what Jesus looked like, a lot of us ain't bold enough to say that's some bull jive. Especially when we know where Jesus supposed to have come from.
Well, think about this. You got the white man.
Jesus, in my opinion, he should be looking like somewhat like Benjamin Netanyahu a little bit. Somewhere in that range. Osama bin Laden in that range.
The white man did not want to worship anyone that wasn't white. Think about that. So in the Catholic religion, they had to brainwash and wishy-wash and all that stuff with Jesus. Everybody... I don't even understand how that worked throughout history, considering that Jesus of Nazareth come on, people.
You talking about the white American man.
I'm talking about this stuff started in the Catholic religion. It had to have. Everything when Peter left and went to Europe and spread that knowledge, that was straight after Jesus. So that had to have happened there. That had to have happened there.
Negative. He lived in Egypt. Who lived in Egypt? Daniel, who lived in Egypt? I wouldn't know.
That's probably exactly what Jesus would look like around that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he
like
looks
that.
I think he looked like that. For real
like
though.
this. This is what I always portray that Jesus would look like.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. This is what my wife said Jesus would look like. Say Jesus look like that right there. That's what Jesus looked like.
That's what he would look
Now
like.
you think here in America we're gonna praise somebody that look like that? And here in America,
Them Europeans wasn't doing that neither.
get the fuck out of here. Let's get back to it, y'all.
I could be an error. Maybe you are a biological woman.
And then you correct
that
yourself, right?
That take maybe not.
So that's what that's exactly what we're trying to say.
So the question is that do you think that womanhood can then be assumed just through costume design?
Somebody tell me. Buzz Turtleman said do a video on the Shroud of Turin. Shroud of Turin?
Yeah.
Look that up, baby. You know what you're talking about?
Yeah. I know what that is.
You know
what
what it
about
is?
it though? Yeah.
What you think about the Buzz Turtleman? What you think about the what's your opinion on the Shroud of Turin?
I'm not so sure. I don't know. It's hard to say. It could have been anybody's. It could have been anybody's.
Listen to what Timothy said. Oh, I don't know. I picture my Jesus with the tuxedo shirt and a crown and a coat. Hey,
here's the Jesus you've been talking about.
This is the Jesus this is the Jesus that they had in every church that I went to in my lifetime that they told me to praise. This is Jesus.
Let me see.
That's Jesus. That's Jesus there, y'all.
Yeah, that's an error.
That's Jesus.
That's an error. Yeah. Ain't that sad?
That's Jesus. That's crazy. How American society
The blue-eyed
is.
Jesus.
That's crazy how American society is, man.
Baby, that's not just America.
Man, I lived outside the country, and I ain't never seen no picture of Jesus I ain't never seen no picture other than Jesus in America.
But yeah, but you what?
I lived in Japan.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go down that. You can see it. Can we go visit? I mean, God's telling me right now.
Exactly.
You think that's real? We go visit the mind.
What easy one to say.
Yeah, overkilling.
That's your European Jesus right there. I'm trying to tell you.
Child sacrifice. And this is the honest answer on that. Why I'm trying to match it is because all those child sacrifice, the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incans did on the top of temples. Great civilization. Do you want to go back to the Old Testament?
I don't know if that would have been Jesus's or not. It could have been somebody else. It could be anybody, man. I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, that look like a real motherfucker.
What?
That picture of Jesus. Is that a real person that's back in the day?
There is a story behind that, and I can't remember what the hell it was. I can't remember what that story was.
Hold on. Oh, I heard about that. Listen.
Do you understand at least? Can you sympathize with our perspective? Okay.
I heard somebody sacrifice a child in the Bible. Listen.
So now you know it. So actually, no, there's no child sacrifice in the Bible. It was a prohibition on child sacrifice.
Right.
Anyway, that's a little bit of a rabbit hole. Do you understand at least? Can you sympathize with our perspective? Okay. That
I'll calm it down a little bit. I apologize for the condescension.
I mean, but you're doing it's fine. But did you see where this could get wildly out of control? At least I don't see how it get out of control because even
I agree with you, Shane. I totally agree with you, bro. Shane said, I don't care what it looks like. I just want to let me in. Goddamn, you damn right about that. Goddamn.
Right, Shane.
Shout out to Shane Mobley for that one. Where you from, Shane? Where you from, Shane? Who your favorite football team is? That's some real ass shit. I'ma always remember that you said that, Shane. Shane said, I don't care what he looks like. I just want him to let me in.
And turn it around and you tell him how you know you're going there.
Nah, I ain't gonna tell how I'm going.
You tell him how you know you're going there.
I ain't that bold. My wife put me on blast right now, y'all. Oh, shit.
You gonna put in a good word for me, you said?
If you'd say the majority of males in the binary distribution graph, we're going back to that.
Shane, oh yeah, Shane, he the one saying roll tide. Yeah, he from Alabama. I'm originally from Mississippi, Shane. Gulf Coast of Mississippi.
I don't know. Ronda Rousey can kick my ass. I will say that. No, for sure. But could she kick Conor McGregor's ass? Well, now we're talking about the peaks, right? She's at the cisgender. No, because you're talking about the peaks of two different categories in the same sort of.
Right. Because why? She's a cis woman.
Well, she's a cis woman and
Correct.
A cis man. But yes, and she can kick her tail, right?
Yes, I would agree.
Well, okay, for sure, right?
Because cis men and cis women have different hormone levels. If you want to change the hormones, we can change the categorization. But you're saying that you want men and women, bar none, and you say that's the most fair category. Then we have to allow all women and all men.
But again, those things don't. So I just want to be clear. So because I think I'm tracking your argument, is that in the University of Pennsylvania swim team, when Thomas swam against biological women, you're perfectly fine with that.
I think as long as we have to categorize that way.
Thanks.
Good to meet you.
Yeah.
As long as we have what? No, that doesn't work.
I want to get him in. He's debated yet. No, you're fine. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Preeti. Nice to meet
Brittany,
you.
nice to meet you. Go ahead.
Preeti.
Preeti,
P-R-E-E-T.
I'm sorry.
You're totally
Brittany,
good.
I like that.
Okay, so
Thomas
I
just
kinda
said
wanna go
creepy at
back
first.
to
I'm like, what?
earlier. You said that Parker has lower T than you. So would you say? Yeah. No. I'm fully aware it's a joke. But I guess on that point, do you think that T has to do, or testosterone has to do with your manhood?
No. Well, yes and no. I mean, if you are looking at typical testosterone estrogen rates of women, they are far different than those of men. But
right,
for example, your testosterone rate goes down when you have children. For
Okay,
example, when you're a man, that doesn't make you less of a man. They go down to about 400 points.
Okay, but when we were talking earlier about sports, right?
Yeah.
And you were saying that the reason why it's unfair for for example, a trans woman who used to be a man to be competing in women's sports, you cited that they have higher testosterone levels.
One of 50 characteristics. Also lung density.
We got 60 people checking out the Neighborhood Superstar podcast, y'all.
Density, muscle mass.
I appreciate everybody who's commenting and enjoying this with your boy, man.
Those all come from the hormones during the development
Real.
process, correct?
No, not necessarily. No.
The stuttering starts.
Philadelphia,
exactly.
Mississippi, corpus all over. Philadelphia, Mississippi. I'm from Philadelphia. That's my stumping yard, homie.
You can get them strong.
Corpus all over 1369, Philadelphia, Mississippi. That's where your boy from. Who is this?
It's over.
Okay, but
Because there's something in the coding of our genetics.
the coding of our genetics.
Corpus all over, yeah. Philadelphia, Mississippi in here. We got, I believe we got some family in the motherfucking building.
Coding of how
More than endocrinology is a big part. Because, for example, if you just give a kid testosterone, that doesn't even get them close to becoming a male, or estrogen giving them a female.
Okay.
They might get characteristics that are close to that,
Right. Okay.
but it doesn't.
But I mean, there's no perfect image of this is what a female looks like. This is what a male looks
No,
like.
but
We
for
all get our periods at different ages. Some of us and also for example, there are many circumstances where womanhood is just not one thing, right? It's a multitude of experiences
For
that
sure.
every single
Can you
person.
define what womanhood is? That's an interesting question for you.
Well, no, I can't define what womanhood is, and the reason why is because it's something that's an individual experience for every single person, right? My experiences, what I have experienced throughout my life, is not going to be the same as another woman who may have grown up in a different
We have
environment.
disagreements.
Okay.
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 Womanhood is an objective thing.
Right, but we.
That's a great explanation from a young woman.
No, it isn't.
That's from a man's perspective.
Yeah, but it
not
isn't.
something based on your chromosomes, but something
Well-
maybe based on a construct.
Well, no, it also can be objectively witnessed in empirical ways, in biological ways, in scientific ways.
Okay, so to clarify, we're still discussing whether womanhood is on chromosomes or not.
If you'd like to discuss that, it's deeper than just chromosomes.
Right. I'm just trying to define exactly.
For example, if we look at SPECT scans or brain scans of men and women, 98%
Corpus all over.
intelligence can tell you
I
the
live in Utah now, but I grew up there
Okay.
in Jacksonville.
Men, for example, our
In
amygdalas are not as high working as women. You know what amygdala is? The threat assessment.
Were you in the military?
So there's a difference between the concept for what sex is, which is a biological
Corpus?
aspect, and what gender is, which is a social
I
construct, right?
reject gender completely as a different word. It's really
Okay, so
personality.
that's where the debate is,
Yes.
the existence of gender.
Gender means personality.
Shout out to Tim so he get down with this chat.
How would you,
Right.
how would you define race on that point?
How would I
How would you
define
define
race?
race?
Well, race is a very difficult topic.
Okay, because I think that it's a really important thing to discuss when it Because
if I draw blood,
is it ethnic lines? Is it
if you have a blood sample of a black individual and a white individual, I can't tell you which one is which. If I have a blood sample of a man and a woman, I can tell you which one is which, just by running very simple elementary blood tests. So, for example, if there was a Hispanic or a white, there is no difference in
why
the genetic
is it?
coding. There just isn't.
Why is
don't
it
see-
important that someone's okay.
No difference, bitch, is what he's saying. Oh, excuse me.
Is that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate.
Oh, he's gonna piss
A lot of
people off
competition,
here.
Mason. Yeah, exactly.
Of course she is.
See you again.
Is Kamala Harris a DEI woman? Of course she is. Of course, diversity. That off top get her in there because she's a woman. That's diversity. She's and this is where the bullshit starts at when they start talking about she's a black woman. That's the diversity. Equity. I forgot what the equity part of the game was. Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all remember what the equity side of the game was. Inclusion, meaning that we're allowing you to come in. That's what diversity, equity, inclusion is. I personally think that's a good thing. Why is diversity, equity, inclusion a bad thing? Fuck using all these big ass words, salad dressing and shit with these motherfucking words. We want to say this word. We want to say this word. We want to say this word to make our motherfucking conversation pretty.
That you're going to say because she's black and she's a woman, she's appointed because Joe Biden promised that, and it's not a testament to her
Not
success.
only that, but also in her getting the nomination, the Democrat Party, they said repeatedly, we do not want to pass over a black female. Okay, so just those two things, but the first.
Show me where they said that at.
Joe Biden said,
what?
Show me where they said that at. Now, this is where I'm getting into his bullshit now.
Hang on, what did he say?
When he this is when I'm starting to look different at Mr. Kirk now. When he started talking race-related issues.
All right, hit play and see what he said.
Let's listen to what he said. I want y'all to listen what he said.
She's appointed because Joe Biden promised again.
Listen.
A lot of competition, Mason. Yeah, exactly. Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Can I define what a DEI candidate is?
I think that you're going to say because she's black and she's a woman, she's appointed because Joe Biden promised that, and it's not a testament to her
Not
success.
only that, but also in her getting the nomination, the Democrat Party, they said repeatedly, we do not want to pass over a black female. Okay, so just those two things, but the first one.
Where did they say that at? Show me where they said that at.
Stronger, you're right. Joe Biden said, I'm going to put on my vice presidency a black female, right? So his criteria kept, and there's like Karen Bass and Kamala Harris. Okay. So she was not chosen because of her intellect or her accomplishments or because of any of that. It was because she happened to fit a couple boxes. In fact, Amy Klobuchar, the vetting at the time was that Amy Klobuchar would have been a better VP, and Kamala ended up getting it. So it's just a statement of fact. That she is there not because of her brilliance or accomplishments, but because of her ethnicity.
So Kamala Harris, first and foremost, there are a lot of criticisms that you can give to her on why she wouldn't be an effective president. It shouldn't be because she's a woman or because she's black. And it seems to me that you're saying that.
Kamala Harris didn't win the presidency because she had a machine that was going against her. She had an already established machine that was missing his ass for 4 years. That's what she had against her. I don't give a fuck. The only motherfucker who would have beat Trump was Obama. Obama would have beat Trump by a narrow margin, because that's how strong Trump train is running. These folks behind Trump on the bullshit that he put out. Y'all check for the Neighborhood Superstar podcast. I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on him doing this National Guard stuff all over the country.
I just want people to understand and agree she didn't earn this. She absolutely did. She has a career where she's been not only a DEA. DEA stands for one of the biggest. Earn it, just so we're clear. But like it stands for diversity, equity, inclusion. I like the meme though. I know what it is. But do you at least admit and acknowledge that when Joe Biden was searching for a VP, he cared more about skin color and a female than the smartest, best person? So the whole conversation with this affirmative action with DEI, the whole reason why people bring it in is to make this imaginary scenario that there's a super qualified white man.
I can believe he did that. Joe Biden picked her for her fucking to get the black folks. I'm gonna tell you why I believed it. It's because he knew he needed that sector of people. He knew those people that got him into that White House as vice president. He knew those people weren't gonna be in his corner like how they was. We weren't fucking with you, Joe Biden. We didn't give a fuck about you in 2008. We cared about fucking Obama. We could care a fuck less who the goddamn vice president was. We was blinded. This the same motherfucker that signed the crime law bill and called us super predators back in the day. I didn't know that when I was a little boy, when he called us super predators. Him and fucking Hillary Clinton, the crime bill. We didn't give a fuck about you, Joe Biden. So you picked her. I can understand that. But that makes her a fucking sucker if she say, well, hell, I don't have a chance at fucking winning, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my name, put my name in the bid. You know what I'm saying? Because I can manipulate the diversity, equity, and inclusion shit. She did have a fucking. She had a reliable chance to be in it. He picked her. She had some qualifications. What your JB Vance have? So that's why he picked a black woman. He
to get the votes.
To get the votes.
That's what they do.
But we didn't give a fuck about fucking Joe. He wanted to pick that side of, and we didn't go for it. We didn't go for fucking Joe Biden.
How could we?
I'm talking about the black sector. I didn't fucking vote for him. I voted. You know what? I remember that motherfucker saying some shit, and it took a stupid ass motherfucker like me to go out there and do it. Cause I voted against motherfucking I went against Trump. I ain't gonna lie, I did. I heard that motherfucker say, Joe Biden, stupid motherfucker. And I'm a stupid motherfucker for falling in the trap. That motherfucker said on the Breakfast Club, you're not black if you don't vote for me. You're not black if you don't vote for me. That's what Joe Biden said on the Breakfast Club. Trying to be hip on a black radio station. But Charlemagne the God. That motherfucker had the nerve to fucking say some fucking bullshit like that. And what I do? I went out and voted for that motherfucker, y'all. I went out and voted for the motherfucking Joe Biden. But when it was down for motherfucking Kamala and Trump, I said, you know what? I'm not voting. I'm done with the voting thing, man. I'm going to start focusing on my local shit. I live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm going to start focusing on my local thing, man. Right now, man, we taking a smoke break. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful night out here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Do this now.
Slow Joe.
Tennessee's a beautiful state, yeah. Tennessee is a very beautiful state, especially in the fall. One thing I don't particularly care about Tennessee, though, is on the weather side of the game, we get weather from all different sides of the country. We get that Canada weather. We get that weather that's coming in from the West Coast, and we get that weather that's coming from the Gulf Coast. For the ones who don't know, I am the ice cream man. We had a pretty good day today. What you say, baby?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Went out there and provided some smiles each and every mile while making my mama and daddy proud. that's my slogan.
I don't know why I laugh every time. It just sounds
Because it rhymes. Providing smiles each and every mile while making my mama and daddy proud. Yeah. Most definitely.
I'm gonna go watch my Ghost Hunter show. Let me talk to you.
Wait, finish the cigarette?
No, I'm good. I'm good from now on forever. Definitely.
Me and my wife, we about to quit smoking these cigarettes, y'all. I know I'm holding it like a joint, but it's a rolled cigarette, believe me. It's a rolled cigarette, man. I didn't start smoking tobacco until I moved to Tennessee. That's one of my worst habits that I picked up, smoking tobacco. I quit quite a few times since I've been here in the past 17 years. The longest I quit was 7 years. I just recently picked it back up maybe a year and a half ago. Prior to that, I quit twice. I quit at that time 2 years. The motivation for me to quit smoking 2 years ago was health reasons, get a little older, stuff like that. I had some family members pass away from COPD, from smoking and stuff like that. That was a strain on your boy. Puff puff fast, brother. That was a cigarette, man. That was a rolled cigarette, man. That wasn't no joint. That was a rolled cigarette, bro. I think you would have heard me coughing if that was a medical cigarette. Yeah, I told him that. My wife said she's done. She said she's done with the cigarettes, y'all. But let's get back into this video, man. Let's get back into it.
It was overpassed by this unqualified, stupid idiot. Well, hold on, first which is such a terrible analogy because it's not true. It's absolutely not true. That's not what it is. Joe Biden did not say, I'm going to choose an unqualified person and just abandon it because she's black. He's saying that I'm going to have two qualified people. If one comes from a different experience, it might be better to have a diversity and have a better perception. He said at the South Carolina debate that I will pick a black woman as my vice president. Secondly, Amy Klobuchar came out. Is this a random black woman that you plucked off the street? Or is this a qualified DEA, general attorney, who's had a decorated career in leading government positions? But you keep rambling about things that just aren't relevant to what we're talking about. It is relevant. Amy Klobuchar in vetting came across as the more qualified candidate. Why? Because they said Kamala Harris wasn't very smart, wasn't very bright. That's their own vetting documents. From who? Joe Biden's own vetting documents. So why would he go against that? Because the base of the Democrat Party demands tribal politics and DEI politics over competency. That's absolutely inaccurate. He stated to Jim Clyburn said, I will only endorse you in the South Carolina primary if you say that you're going to put a black person, preferably a black female, on your ticket with you. Therefore, you winnow the entire universe down and say, I'm only going to choose this criteria. And let's just think more broadly. If you're about to have heart surgery, would you rather have a heart surgeon that's good and excellent, knows what he's doing, or someone that is a black female? So, and being president is more important than being a heart surgeon. Aren't you on record saying that you'd be terrified if there was a black pilot? I did say that. But why? What was the full quote? I personally, I don't know. So, want to expound? Yeah. So this ties into this. United Airlines said that half of all their new hirees are going to be black or women, and that standards and pursuit of excellence is not going to be taken as seriously as diversity. When I'm flying a plane, I want to know my pilot is there because they're a good pilot, not because they fit some DEI box. Damn it, I wish we could have a better conversation. I'm sorry, man.
No one wants to do the sick or injured thing. That's why Ascension St. Thomas Urgent Care is here. Open late and on weekends.
So let's say that Kamala Harris was a DEI hire as vice president. Do you think she's also a DEI hire as the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party?
Potentially, I mean, they decided to go to her almost immediately because she is the VP, but also because she fits some criteria boxes. But let me ask you.
You don't think it's because Joe Biden nominated her?
No, for sure, that's part of it, of course. But let me ask you, what's her greatest achievement or accomplishment?
Her greatest achievement or accomplishment? I'd say her greatest achievement or accomplishment is completely destroying the Republican Party within like 2 weeks of being nominated. Like in the polls, she's just absolutely.
Sorry. How are you? Nice to see you. What's your name?
Amanda. So you believe because Kamala is black and a woman, she was chosen for vice president?
That's not my own belief. Her own team. Joe Biden said that. He said, he said, I'm first, because beforehand he said, I'm going to choose a black female for vice president. He didn't say, I'm going to choose the most gifted or the most talented or the most accomplished.
When it has over 6,000 people check out this live stream. Appreciate y'all, man.
Definition of DEI
6,000 have tuned into the neighborhood superstar within these 2 hours